Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today what we're going to take a look at is the NEO SD. It is you can think of it as a multi-card solution. It allows you to add multiple neo-geo ROMs to a single card and then load up that card and play them without switching different MVS cards in your arcade cabinet and such. So they make a version of this for the AES and the MVS. As you all know, most of the time I collect MVS games. So I just decided to try this out and see how it looks. So first of all, just got it shipped the other day. So we'll get it unboxed. Take a look at it here. The seller shipped it very well. Okay. A lot of bubble wrap. All right, so opening it up. So here we go. We can see this is the NEO SD. They do have a pro version of this, so this is just the base version of it. Like I said, I'm just going to try it out, see how it does. I have a lot of MVS carts already, so just want to try it out. So I may find that it fits my purposes or it doesn't, so we'll just see how it goes. Over here on this side, you can see where the SD slot is, and it's actually already, the seller actually put a card in there, so it's a 16 gigabyte. See it there. So that's a 16 gigabyte card. I think that'll hold just about the entire MVS library and such. I've already gotten all the games downloaded and everything else, so I'll transfer those over in a little bit, and it snaps back in. So there you can see the cover. So they do make there's another brand that has the same type of solution made by Darksoft. I heard that it has a lot of improvements and such as well. So maybe one day I'll get that one and try it out just to compare and contrast. But this one is the first one that came out in this type solution here, so you can see it. And then, as always, we take a look at the pins on any new MVS cart that we get. And everything looks nice and clean, so that looks good as well. All right, so little scuffs on the thing, but it wasn't brand new, but overall not bad as far as everything else. So basically, for those who are new to the channel, MVS carts slide into the MVS-Arcadia system. So I'll just pull one of those out right quick for you. So right here, this is an example of a MVS arcade board, right? So this particular one I have here is one of the older ones I had. It is actually consoleized, which means I can actually take this one and hook it directly to a TV. So you got, S-video, your composites, controller, another controller, dip switches, power, right? And this one's actually still able to be used in a JAMA arcade system, right? So it's dual use for this particular board right here. But for all intents and purposes, you take your MVS cart, you can see right here where you have your grooves. It just slides in, and then you press it down, and I probably should sit it down. Slides in nice like that, nice and snug. And there you go. That's how you install your MVS cart and your MVS board. So as I said, I've never had the SD card solutions. In the past, in the very beginning, when I first got into MVS, I went and bought just like a multi-game solution that works. So like this was like generation 1 when this first came out. Yeah, essentially after that went to like a 181 or 161 in one cart, which has more games. They have some legitimate games, a lot of bootlegs, a lot of different versions of the same game and everything else. So this, it works pretty well, but like I said, they've long since evolved past this one. So the main difference between this solution and the Neo SD is that the Neo SD allows me to put any games that I want on that SD card that I just showed you and then load them up inside the system, so you can tailor fit exactly what's on your game cartridge, versus on these you have no control. So you buy it, and if it has the games you want to play on it, great. If it doesn't, then you need to find another way to play those games, right? So that's the main difference from this solution and the Neo SD. One advantage that this one has, though, over that, and before I even test it, is that I'll know the boot up times for this one is going to be much faster than that, simply because all of these games are already, let's just say air quote, hard written to the ROMs. And so when I hit A on one of these, it's just going to come up instantly. Versus over here with this solution, when I load up the game, you'll see that it's going to actually take some time to actually load it into the memory and then play it. And then once it's loaded, it'll stay and have a fast boot up time. But when I go to switch it to another game, it's got to rewrite that information to the memory, and then it's going to take time. So long and the short of it, full game selection based on what you want it to be, tailor fit to your needs. This one right here, predefined by whoever made this unit. You have no control over it, but you'll have faster boot times. Okay? All right, so now that we got that covered, I will get this installed in the arcade cabinet. I'll actually show the boot up time. We'll look at the menu and get a little bit of gameplay, and we'll go from there. All right, here we go. Okay, so we have the Neo SD installed in the MVS 4 slot, and we will, cab is there, it's not turned on, so we'll set the camera up, and then we will go through the boot sequence. I've already loaded in the games on the SD card, so that's ready to go. Oops, sorry about that. All right, camera is secure. All right, let's get the game booted up. Let's turn off this extra light. So what we're going to see is that it's going to boot directly into the game, one of the games I have loaded. So it came right into the game, just like a standard card. You didn't know it's a multi-card, right? So this came in. And I can come in and start playing it, no big deal. So it works fine, no problems, everything else, right? If I want to go back to the menu, tells me what version I'm on, and then I get the full menu of games, right? So from here, I have the option to just launch the current game that I have loaded, or I can go and pick any other game. So let's say we pick something totally different. Okay, so if I pick a different game, it's going to erase the current one. And then it's going to flash that new game to the memory on the card. And this is going to take, I don't know, maybe 2.5 minutes, 3 at the max. And after it does that, that game will be stored in memory. And I can start playing it. Or if I need to change a game, I can always use the options. So at the bottom of the menu, it says A is load, B is options, C if I want to set up a filter, and D if I want to set up certain games for favorites. So if I have a certain favorite set that I just want at the top of the list, I can do that. All that kind of stuff like that. So not bad. And like I said, it's a good solution if you are a person who doesn't, if you don't have one of the standard 161 multi-carts, if you don't have one of those, I would definitely say look into this. Now, another plus in favor of the multi-cart solution instead of the SD card solution, which this is generally, at this point in time, you could probably get you a 161 card for probably around $90 or so. So really affordable for what you're getting out of it, but you can't customize the games that are on there, right? Versus these SD card solutions, so like either this is like the base one, the SD, and then you have the SD Pro. They're gonna run you anywhere from $400 to $450, or if you get the Dark Stuff MVS version, that's going to start you off at like $500 and above. So whereas you do have the option for more control of your cards, you do pay a higher entry price if you decide to go to the SD version of it. Well, as you saw, that took around 2 minutes or so, right? Came in, no problem. I can go inside the game now. Pick whatever character, whoever it may be. And it loads up, no problem, right? So once again, another solution for playing MVS games. And remember, they do have a solution for this on the AES, which probably, I think this solution makes a lot more sense on the AES than on the MVS, simply because there's not a lot of or I should say multi-card solutions on the AES. And the games on the AES, at least in the past, have generally been more expensive than the ones on the MVS. As time goes by, I've noticed a lot of the MVS and AES cards are almost catching up with the price. So it's a little interesting. It used to be that the MVS cards were always cheaper. Alright, so there's that. We can go back to the menu again, and let's see what else we have on here. You can see I am missing a few games I need to add on here. So once again, this is just the Neo SD version 1 of the game card. This is not the Pro. Pro gives you a little bit more options, so you can actually select a few different games and have a few different other slots. So you might have like 4 slots, and you can assign 4 different games, so you don't have to flash in between each one of your uses there. So it's a little bit more time friendly if you want to get the Pro version of this card. Of course, the Pro version does cost a little bit more. So the Pro version of this probably costs the same price as the Darksoft MVS multi-card solution. But both, like I said, you're talking about around $500, $550 for both of those different solutions, and this base version is around $400 compared to around $89, $90 for just 161 to 1 card, but you don't have any customization options with those. And you get a lot of, on those 161 cards, you get a lot of duplicate games, because they're showing you different versions of, like 8 different versions of King of Fighter 2001 or what have you, versus being able to have just a clean interface and just the games you want to play on the SD card solution. So we'll get this one loaded up, check it out, and after this one gets loaded, very quick gameplay test just to see how it's loading. I haven't noticed any lag with any of the games, no degradation or no kind of impediment from playing the game on the SD card, so it feels great and everything else. So we'll get this one loaded up, and then after that we will bring this video to the end. If you're watching, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps. And as always, if you got questions about anything, put a comment on the video, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Okay, it's all loaded up. No problem with sound or anything else like that. So
by permission, those consumed with vengeance. But here, they do not exist.
on one point, just so for those who don't know, when you install it, like I have mine in a multi-slot solution for the MVS. I have the label of the cart facing toward the left. So just as a point of how should you install it for the first time, just for those who may not get a manual with their system or their cart.
Kusnu Fun versus Hotaru Futaba. Round one. Fight! KO. Round two. Fight. KO.
So there you go, guys. I'm going to end this video now, but hope you enjoyed seeing how the Neo SD works and everything else. As always, if you got a question, comment, leave it on the video, and I'll get back to you. Other than that, I'll talk to you all later. Be safe, and remember to like and subscribe. Peace out.